acknowledge the traditional owners of the lands on which this episode is filmed. Thank you for joining us for part 2 of our epic adventure to the high country. In our previous episode, we made our way from the Goulburn River to Bright, and if you haven't seen that one yet, head on back and check it out. As we departed the Midder and made our way towards Mount Pinnibar, on the way, we passed the Hume Dam. We stopped past Tallangatta for a bit of lunch. Excitement was starting to build, and then we hit roadworks. But the excitement was still building. Making our way towards Corryong, the turnoff was soon approaching, where we'd have to hit the gravel and air down. As we like to say, the spirit of adventure was calling, and it was time to head on the next part of our adventure. Corner after corner, we were unsure of what we were going to find, but then, around the next corner, we found these guys. Turned out they wanted to show us the way. As we travelled further up the road, we came across an unexpected lookout point, which was a good spot to pull hundo over, have a little rest, and take in the views. And those views were certainly changing from our previous night. As we drove the tracks, it was evident that the bushfires had been here many years ago. The fire had burnt that hot that some places were still regrowing all these years later. After many kilometres, we reached the bottom of Mount Pinnibar track, and it was time to engage four-wheel drive and complete the final bit of today's adventure, the ascent to the top. As we got closer to the top, our excitement rose, and our vocals, well, we just went quiet. And now it's our pleasure to let you enjoy what we enjoyed. As we got to the top, we never had any intention of staying, but as the sun was setting, we deemed it too dangerous to drive down the other side of the mountain to our planned campsite. So we set up the swags, collected a bit of wood down the mountain, and got settled in for a night on top of Mount Pinnibar. as we like to say, it doesn't look like this at home. There came a point, after filming for the afternoon, that we put the cameras down and decided to enjoy it with our own eyes. As the sun was fading, it was time to put on a hot meal on the fire and warm ourselves up from the inside. Beef and potatoes, what more could you ask for? After our amazing unplanned overnight stay, on the morning of day 5, we packed up and made our way down the mountain towards Gehi. As the sun rose in the morning, we were greeted with a heavy dew. The canvas was wet, the floor was wet, but our spirits sure weren't. We'd had a wonderful night, camping on top of Mount Pinnibar, albeit a little bit testing. If you seek discomfort, you can sometimes find a lot out about yourself and your surroundings, and that certainly happened to us on this trip. Patiently we waited for the sun to rise. But as it kept going up, so did the clouds, and drying off our swags wasn't an option. So we decided to pack up wet with the intent of drying them off at our next location, Gehi. As we reached the foot of the mountain, the forest opened up to the sunny Tom Grogan, and we knew we were not far away from our destination at Gehi. As we pulled into camp and found some travelling companions of ours all set up, we decided to set up camp and dry out our swags. This is a good spot to wrap up this episode, for in the next episode, we'll be walking the banks of the Swampy Plains River to see if we can catch a few trout. And who knows, we might even go back up to Mount Pinnibar. And as always, we'll see you around the next corner.